But there can be no Bwindi authentically without the gorillas. Today we enter the forest proper, traveling along the ridges, vertical climbs and descents, cutting paths where they don't exist, and taking on the task of penetrating the impenetrable. Follow along as we track the mighty gorillas of Bwindi in the second and last part of the Bwindi excursion.
Warning, if you're going for gorilla tracking, there are no game drives here. It's a forest and all the activities are done on foot, so physical soundness is crucial.
Why we don't consider always game driving, where we are, this habitat is for the wild animals like gorillas. Gorillas, they are easily developed, they are easily attacked by stress. So if we allow anybody to drive through it, then they can easily get much more disturbed. They are 98.4 genetically towards human beings, and that's an indication that they are susceptible to anything like communicable diseases.
As done in all tourism activities, a briefing from the rangers is a must.
Some other days you may only hike for 15 minutes, you're already with the gorillas. But the other days you hike for more than 6 hours before you reach these animals. But what we do, we prepare you for both either a short walk or a length walk. And tuck in to avoid ants. Because sometimes you could be walking over the ants and the ants are much more curious. Once they happen to climb on you, then they may end up giving you what we call free services.
After the briefing, we constituted a Ugandans only group and were to track the mobile group, one among several available for tracking.
We've just finished a brief of what we expect when we go out there tracking the gorillas. And well, there are issues of you have to walk with the right shoes because they are ants, and if a gorilla behaves a certain way, how are you supposed to respond? We have had that, and we are waiting to apply, if necessary, those issues when we're out there in the forest. What I'm holding here is a pack of food. It's important to have this when you're going out because you need energy, because apparently there's going up and down as we track. And this addresses the issue of adventure. If you're Ugandan interested in adventure, this is one place to come. It's not just for the foreigners, it's also for us. So join me as we take you out there to track the gorillas for the next few hours and experience with me what our experiences are going to be as we track gorillas in Bwindi National Park.
The best the vehicles will do is to take you closer to the edge of the forest, and you begin the zigzag climb through the villages to the forest.
The challenge of this climb is the thin air. And once you get used to it, then everything is okay. Whereas walking to the beginning of the forest, which takes us to closer to the gorillas.
We paused to catch our breath before we entered the forest as our lead ranger radioed.
Wacha kwanza nikanyage kwa camp. Tutachora wewe mara nyingine. Sawa sawa.
In the past, it was possible to track gorillas and not see them at all. But now, advanced tracker parties of UA rangers are sent to locate them and will guide the tourist parties where they are. We had to take a second rest to eat the food we carried as energy replenishment. After an hour's wait, the trackers called on us and we left the established food track and began the real phenomena of the impenetrable forest with vertical descent to get directly to the gorillas, which we got. Here we spent an hour, which is the standard conservation time, as a way to avoid stressing the gorillas. This guy is the boss of the group, which could have 18 members and owns all the females with exclusive mating rights, even though some slippery males sneak and risk with willing females. Where we stood We were surrounded by the whole group in the air and on the ground, but we were safe because these gorillas are habituated. After the 1 hour and feeling accomplished, we had to do the vertical climbing. Cutting paths where they don't exist. These tourist groups, which must not exceed 8 people, usually have special people on them to push, pull, or carry those who fail. But in our party, we had no quitters.
How did you hit that face?
Who?
You.
Use your stick.
We've now just emerged, and actually I'm standing at the border between Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, which is a forest behind me now, and community land. We spent the last hours in there. A number of activities took place. Of course, we tracked the gorillas and experienced what impenetrable means. In order to find them, we had to leave a track and just go through the bush, cutting bush to see these animals in their natural habitat. But along the way, we were really physically tested. And so, comparably, I see some people doing aerobics every evening. And I'm talking about those in the corporate class, or sometimes on the weekends. Come and visit Bwindi National Park and see the gorillas, but beyond that, come and test yourself physically.
It has not been so easy as I thought. In my mind, before I came, I thought it would be just a walkover. As they briefed us before that we're going to walk for some minutes, for some hours in the forest. So I thought it was really just perusing through the forest and we reached the gorillas. But that wasn't the experience I had. We had to go deep in the hills, then we hike, and on top of that, we had even to sailors at a certain experience. We had to fall down, we had to go into the muddy place so that we reach them in their natural habitat. So it has been so great for me. It has really been a year experience, like we are ending the year, and I'm really feeling so great, so good, because I'm one of those heroes who have visited the gorillas in Bwindi Impenetrable. It's really impenetrable, but we've penetrated the impenetrable.
Oh, we moved long distance as we track the gorillas, but it was too hard to reach, but we managed to reach. So it was like we moved into the valleys, we crossed the rivers as we approached the gorillas.
There is no real inhibition to Ugandans visiting Bwindi because everything has been done to facilitate a visit.
So in a year, we have actually what? 2 seasons. April, May, and November, those are low seasons. Then the rest of the months are what? High seasons. And in the low season, we actually bring the price of the permit down. Why? We want to also cater for the interest of our what? Local tourists, our local community within Uganda. That's why we bring the permit down. And the price of the permit during the low season for the local tourists is 100,000 Ugandan shillings. Then for somebody from Europe or somebody from outside East Africa pays $450. But during the high season, they pay $600. Then during the low season, during also the high season for East Africans, they pay 250 what? So you can see that price cut of 100,000.
Who therefore said that Bwindi Impenetrable is for foreign visitors only? Anyone of age 15 and above is welcome.